Hey everyone and welcome. I'm Dark Sky and today we are playing Empyrion. We have gotten a little bit further. I have made our little starter S or CV ship here. The name of our tribe here is the Dark Sky Legions. Towards the end of the video, I will let you know what where I am and where you can come if you want to come join me on playing Empyrion as well. I mean, this is a lot of fun. It would even be more fun, I imagine, with more people. Stick around for the end of the video, and I will give you the deets on that. But for right now, what we got is if you press F1, we can go through the solo mission, which is currently what we're doing. We did the prologue, we found the unknown, we learned about Ida and all that. And then we went to the Forest of Stars. And this is where the human debris in the Forest of Stars, we learned that some of our crew died when they crash landed on the planet. So now what we're trying to do is we're just trying to piece together what happened. What was the issues? How did we, crash land? What shot us down? Where's our people? Where did they go? And we found out that there is a certain amount of people. We're not sure how many, but we got a kind of a rough idea just from the stuff that was made. And so we got kind of a bit idea. So that's where we are. And we're about to go to find another race that might have more information upon where we are. Where is our people? Where is UCH personnel from the ship that crash landed, the Titan? Here we are. We can choose. This is our quest line, and we have different. You can see that there's a different races. Here's the Xerox, which are more of the bad guys, but you can join them and you can do quests for them, but you have to become evil, I guess, or bad, or whatever you want to call it. But all the other races are going to hate you, and you might not be able to finish the quest line. So if you do the quest first, and then you can choose like which way you want to go after that. And then we have side stories, and then we have like little events for each faction and whatnot. So it's a kind of a fun game. You got different paths we can take. Now, if we hit F2 here, this is where we can kind of make like different ships for ourselves. So you can see I have these ones here are kind of ready-made. Developers made at some point, or maybe they found someone made the ship and the developer picked up and said, hey, this is a good idea. Let's put this as a starter ship or something like that. So we can make different ships here, and they have like at what level they unlock and what the complexity is. One is pretty simple. I've even seen some like this where the complexity is 78. This one here, the complexity exceeds the limits of the server. So I'm not sure what the server's max is. It might be like 50 or so, and this one just happens to be huge. I mean, this is a huge ship. To be able to spawn it takes awfully a lot of resources and everything. It's going to cause a lot of lag issues and stuff like that. Where like this one here is a complexity of 9. So this is going to be a little bit of a tougher ship to build because the resources are going to be a little bit harder to find. I think what I'm going to do right now is I want to build this ship right here. For me to be able to build this one, I need to unlock to level 7. I am level 6. I am actually not even like 6% away from level 7. But it says down here, it kind of gives you an idea what you need to do if you want to unlock this. For one, you need to level, and 2, you need different devices. Now it says here, the following 9 devices need to be unlocked in the tech tree, F3. Container extensions, oxygen, small station, harvester controller, medium ion thrusters, all that fun stuff, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit F3, and this is our tech tree. We have like all kinds of stuff. We have weapons, so we have all of our different weapons. We have our armor. We even have a combat knife. You can do a plasma sword if you want to use that. Something, get up close and personal. Now, and then we also have our tools here. And then we have all the different tools, mechanical drills, which we're going to use for like gathering resources, multi-tools for taking ships apart or bases or even enemy bases. We can take those apart and use the pieces to, make better ships or just use the resources that after we break down something, that's in the enemy base. So, and then you have your medic gun here, which you can use to like heal other people and whatnot. The detector, which, looks for resources on the planet. And then you got your oxygen, of course. Then we also have our miscellaneous here, which in our miscellaneous, we have our fuels. We have our fuel cells, which are going to help for powering our ship. They also help with, many other different things like machines for to create oxygen or water, which, I mean, you don't have to create water, but you suck up water into water like cells, and then you use the batteries to power it. So that way you can use that water to make plants and whatnot on your ship or on your base or whatnot. You can start your starter base. You can start your hover vessels. You have the blocks to get those going. You got the different cores for salvaging so you can take over like an enemy base and put a salvage core on it so that way you can salvage it. You got all kinds of stuff. Now, this is the oxygen extractor I was telling you about. Right here, we have a water extractor so we can create our water, and we have a hydrogen extractor to get, obviously, our hydrogen. Later on, we get planetary drones, orbital drones, and then we also get auto mining devices, which also help with mining resources and everything like that. Now, we also have under hover vessels, we have the generators. Also, the pentaxid is also meant for like your shields. The hover vessel is also the same way. The pentaxid is meant for for your shields so that you can make tanks, and then you can roll in and take out the enemy, using a hover vessel. Also, hover vessels are great for being scouts and kind of just, cruising around the planet, are also helpful when it comes to mining. Yeah, they're definitely good doing that. And then we have our capital vessels, which is what we're currently in right now. And this is basically a flying base. That's all a capital vessel is. And then we have a base. So like if you find a planet that you want to, stay on and you want to build up, this is some of the stuff that you might want to look at, Maybe we need some weapons to protect ourselves from the enemy, or basic generators, or, even we can use solar panels. We can even use teleporters and be able to teleport from base to base, depending on what the distance is. So, I mean, there's so much to do in this game. So in this one here in Hover Vessel, it is telling me that for me to be able to make this ship, I need to go to make a container extension. I need an oxygen station. Under Hover Vessel here, I want an oxygen station. And I only got 3 points left, so not a lot of points, but I'll get more points when I level up. I'm thinking that it's going to ask for small hover engines and maybe a small RCS. Let me see. So small ion, small hover engine. Yeah, so it's going to ask for a hover engine, so we can get those out of the way at least. So we can get that one out of the way. Now we have 0 points, but at least we have, we're a little bit further along. We only got 7 left. If you hit F4, we can go into our inventory. We can kind of see our inventory. We can see our ship's inventory. And we can go through all the different inventories. And you can name these inventories to what you want. The fridge, obviously, is where you're going to put all your cold items. Miscellaneous for me is just miscellaneous items. Pentaxid, that's where we're going to use for our shields and for us to be able to jump from planet to planet. We're going to put a special resource called Pentaxid into these tanks, and it'll allow us to to warp. And then we have a repair station for us to repair our tools and everything. And we have an ammo box to put ammo in. So got a lot of stuff here, a lot of different options, things going on. Now, it almost looks like I'm going to fall right here. This is actually glass. It's like, I just love how how clear it is. It almost looks like you're gonna just fall, but you don't. So but anyways, so what we got to do now is we need to reach the structure. So we're gonna hit F here, and the ship's gonna do a little flipping around. Now we can hit the Alt button, and we can spin around and look at the ship from afar. I did the painting job on this ship, and I might have missed a few places, but you know, I'm not 100%. But it looks all right. You know, it's got my colors on there, gold and blue, so that's kind of nice. All right, so what we want to do first off is I think we want to head up to the village, but I also what I want to do is I want to find a spot where we can call our base, and we're going to put our ship there. You know, bring our ship around with us. With this being it's a capital vessel. I mean, it really doesn't have a lot of defenses. It's got little personal guns on there, you know, to shoot troops or whatever. But if we were to get into a dogfight and we got shot down, we lose like everything. So we wouldn't have anything afterwards, and we'd pretty much be starting off from scratch. So let's do that. Let's get our base set up. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to hit P. That'll kind of open up our menu here. And you can see I have power on right now. I don't need oxygen. I'm on a basically a planet that's like Earth. So it doesn't require me to have oxygen. But I want to turn on the thrusters, obviously, to get those going. I use the Alt button, and I can kind of set the mouse where I want. So I kind of want a little bit out, a little ways away, so I can see behind the ship. Kind of like the third person. If you want, you can scroll all the way in, but this seems to be the best for me. So we're gonna bring the ship out here, and let me see. Let's look at our map now. See, we don't have a lot of area covered. This is the village where we need to go. We have a little bit of lakes out here, which I think would be nice for us to kind of set up. Let's see here. We want to get to this thing here. And it's a good way for us to kind of scan like what's near us. So let's head off here, and we want to go to the you can see there's little bases down here. There's all kinds of little ships flying around and whatnot. People have all kinds of bases. You can see their CVs that are all parked around here like a giant parking lot. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find kind of a nice little spot here. I want to find something kind of near the water, maybe with a some like a resource nearby, so I'm not having to go too far if I want to go and get some resources or whatnot. Now you can hit E and W to kind of roll the ship. I know it's a little offsetting, you know. I apologize if it makes you a little like ugh. But you can hit O and it'll like level the ship out. All right, so we are currently in a new faction area, and we have all kinds of little POIs that are popping up everywhere. So this is the Talon faction that we're currently in. I'm thinking what I want to do is kind of set up on, so you have an ancient tower over there. There's a base over there. We have silicon over there, and yeah, that's pretty much all I see. And these are that's a little base, I imagine. That's covered right there. There's a white, but let's go like this direction. Yes, let's go this direction. See if we can find something to park in, and we'll park our ship there, and then we'll take our little bike. Now, they used to have a bike back in the day, and it was junk. I tell you, it was pretty bad. People complained about it quite often, but it's gotten a lot better since then. And now they have like this like little hover bicycle, which is kind of cool. It's still not the greatest, but it's enough for us to get around and be able to do our mission. So I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to set out on this island. This is kind of nice. So let's sit down on this island right here, and we'll call this home. There we go. Let's get down there. There we go. Nice flat surface. All right, so now that we have this, let's turn off our thrusters so we're not using up all of our fuel. And I want to see here. I want to turn off the constructors as well. That's the ones that create items for us and whatnot. They take up a lot of fuel as well. We want to kind of turn them off. And then they also have the thrusters there. But I think I want to keep my alarms on just in case, you know, something nasty comes. And detector, I'll just leave that. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. That looks pretty decent. Now, what I want to do also is, now that this is kind of like my base right here, I want to like kind of put a little pointer there. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a map marker. So I'm going to say on this marker, I'm going to say this is Dark Sky base. All right, we'll call it the base. I want it to show on the local HUD, and I don't want it to be removed on approach. So I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to hit accept. Now I'm going to be able to see it no matter what. So now when I'm cruising around, I'm like, say on the other side of the planet, it'll show me the shortest distance to get back to our base. And that's good. That's what we wanted, just in case, you know, we need to get back there. Hit V, that brings us down into our person, and then we hit F so we can pop out of our little captain seat. You also hit F so you can jump into the pilot seat, and then hit V if you want to go into third person once you're in the ship. Now, you can see on number 7 here is our little hover vehicle, so I'm going to come down here. All right, so what I want to do is I want to jump on this little hover vehicle. This is basically like my hover bike. And so we hit the space bar to kind of get up above the ground. And let's get going. So when the thing is, when the hover bike is over the water, it moves like really super slow, like it is right now. But once we get back over land, it'll speed right up. When you are done, you know, cruising around on your hover bike, you want to click Shift F, and that'll pick up your bike and put it back in your inventory, and then you go about your business. If you leave it just willy-nilly, just laying on the ground or whatever, after like, I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that, it'll despawn. So you don't want it to despawn, because then you have to go and make another one, and that just means more resources, which, you know, if you're starting out, you don't have a lot of resources to begin with. Yeah, you see the little critters under the water, little nasty little critters. They probably think we're nasty looking too, so I guess there's that. All right, now that we're back over the land, we'll start picking up speed here. And so here's where we want to go. We don't want to shoot these guys, so, you know, because these guys here is where we're going to start our quest line. You can see somebody has a ship that parked over here. So I'm going to get off of here, off my my hover vehicle, Shift F to pick it up. And let's go in and see what these guys have to say. All right, so here's Mr. Chief over here, just hanging out behind this giant table. Have a chat with him. I'm not even going to say what that word says. Sorry, I don't understand your language. I don't suppose you speak trade standard. It's the only translation key I've got. Dude, speak English. I have no idea what you're yammering on about. I'll go with I don't suppose you have to speak the trade standard. And he says something else. So your people are Talon. The chief points to a tapestry depicting a pyramid-like tower in a forest. Chief gestures to the door and turns around. I guess we're done here. Did you get any of that, Ida? The best I've got is the chief wants me to go to some tower near somewhere. I recorded a conversation. I identified the structure to be indicated, Commander. It is quite far from your current location and is emitting a low electromagnetic signature. Should I send the location data to your display? Go ahead, Ida. Commander, I have forwarded the location of the tower to something that matches the tapestry of the tower Chief showed you to your display. I wonder what I'm supposed to do there. Got any clues, Ida? Could it be a trap? Is unlikely. Through the cameras on your suit, I was able to observe the tribesmen while they spoke with the chief, and most of the people in the village displayed no aggression towards you, merely curiosity. Most, but not all. Should I be worried? I wouldn't worry about it, Commander. The individuals I observed appeared to be youths. Is there one thing? If there's one thing I know, Ida, it's that angry youths will always cause trouble. All right, so we need to find this ancient tower, so let's jump on our bike and go check it out. We're approaching the tower, Commander. I'm detecting electromagnetic readings coming from beneath the structure. There appears to be some kind of entrance at the top of the tower, Commander. Let's head inside and see what we can find, huh? Let's see. Probably should, make sure I've got ammo on my gun ready to go. All right. Well, I found a way inside. That was quite a way to fall. I was expecting a staircase, an elevator, or something. Whatever this place is, Commander, my scans are unable to penetrate the walls. It appears to be heavily shielded except for the data transceiver that I am unable to access. Let's see if I can get the lights turned on. One of the consoles appears to be different from the others. It's possible it controls whatever power source is intended to power the building. Once the power is active, I may be able to access the building's transceiver. Let's see if I can figure something out. So there's a bunch of arrows at these. I'm looking at this thing here. Now we got some power in here. I'm reading an increase of data traffic. I'm able to remotely connect to the computer systems. I will have the transition key completely monetary and will transfer the files to your suit systems. Okay, receiving download now. The transition key has been successfully installed. Commander, please approach the blue console and confirm that it is translating the Talon language correctly. The screen is lit up with alien symbols streamed down the interface. Activate it. Loading Talon translation key. In the year 2106 TC, the noble Talon, having regained the power of spaceflight and finally returned to the stars, encountered our first adversary in the form of the Arcanian Republic, and our economic powers spanning thousands of systems without formal military. They found opposition with our enlightened system and equality, and saw our people as both threat and resource. With no military force of our own, we turned to an honorable warrior race, great in number and military prowess, but lacking interstellar travel, and uplifted them to be our allies and protectors against the economic might of the Arcanian fleet. With the military and tactical superiority on our side, the Republic's aggression was hated and a stalemate achieved. Seeing no way for a profitable outcome for them, the Republic entered negotiations with our Talon Xerox assembly to construct a system of codependent commerce between all of our peoples, giving up their right to military force in exchange for our allies' protection from external sources in their place. And so by the Unity Accords, the Talaxan Federation was formed. This looks like some kind of a historical record. It appears to detail the rise of Talon and their protectors and allies of Xerox from The dating system, I believe that this would be some 362 years ago, and the document roughly 214 years of the Talexation Federation history, over 800 pages. That's a long time to be alloys for them to be in a condition they're in now. I'm guessing their more recent history must be on one of the other consoles. The next console is the red console, which should logically contain more recent information, Commander. Confirmed, Ida. Seems the tower is some kind of archive. Slowly, the silence spread across the galaxy, engulfing everything it touched. No warnings, no transmissions, no survivors. Gone were the days of peace for the Federation. War was upon us once again, and the bonds that bound us together burned bright as the fires of war were waged upon the ancient evil of the past, our legacy. An ancient enemy we thought left behind long ago, bound by a dying galaxy with no way to travel the gulf of emptiness between the origin and destination. Naive we were, for while we are bound by lifetimes and memory, they were not. They took the long journey across the expanse with no thought of risk, only the cost of time the journey would take. To emerge here and now, when we were once again at peace, to take from us all that we have built again, to fight was our only choice. But time and distance served to only strengthen the ancient enemy, and so silence spread like a stain across the face of the galaxy. For where they spread, only silence was heard. This doesn't seem to have anything on the Xerox. It's talking about some war. Whatever the enemy was, it was strong enough to topple the formidable alliance that had ruled the galaxy for centuries. I have found thousands of references to the legacy elsewhere in a database, but little information on their appearance and nothing on their language or culture. They can't have been that effective since this happened, 100 years ago? And the Xerox are still here. There's no need to know about a dead enemy that we'll never run into. 106 years, Commander. But indeed, the records describe the defeat of the legacy further on. However, the legacy were not completely destroyed, merely rendered dormant through the science and ingenuity of the Talon and Xerox. But nothing that says how the Talon ended up as this. No, Commander. I am not sure that it would be recorded here. As such, an operation would have been be surgical, leaving no one to update the records and the time permitted. There may be more information regarding that time on the green console. We can always come back and read about the legacy later if it interests you. Wait a second. This console only seems to have a database of talent-controlled planets, foods, dances, and other culture-related stuff. While this is probably what the chief wanted me to read, it's no use to us. Yes, this console appears to contain information about the Talon's people. Personally, I find it fascinating. You, Ida, find something fascinating? That's the most expression I've heard out of you so far, Ida. One of my parameters is to investigate and document the first contact with any alien species, Commander. I am predisposed to fascination of alien creatures and cultures. Does that mean you're investigating those big-ass spiders we've been running into as well? Of course, Commander. If you would like to know more about the creatures I've encountered, you can review the ecological database in your PDA. I'll pass on that. Thanks, Ida. That's a shame. There's a lot to be learned from the wildlife of an alien world and its culture. Commander, I have detected heat signatures moving in on the tower in combat formation. I was able to trace them back to a transport half a kilometer away. They landed outside my focus. I apologize for not detecting them sooner, Commander. Enemy troops. How many hostiles are we talking about here? There are only 4, Commander. They appear to have taken flanking positions. 1 at the top of the tower to prevent your escape, and 2 preparing to breach the wall. The shuttle that dropped them is still in the area, Commander. I recommend that you deal with the situation and leave the area before more troops are deployed. Understand, I'll get it done. Ooh, they're over there. I don't like the fact that they're also above me as well, so I can't tell like which way they're coming from. Oh, run. Are you safe behind a tree? Probably not, huh? Where are they? Saw them shooting. Oh, they're definitely shooting. They can't see them. And I only got 4 shots. It's not like I came with any certain amount of bullets and all that. That fun stuff. Dang it. All out. All I got is my pistol. Looks like I've eliminated 1. But I'm going to need more than 1. Well, I got all I need here. Just tells me to return to the chief here to get out. So I might as well get out of here. I want to get shot up. I don't have any ammo anyways. I see you've returned, traveler. I hope your journey was enlightening. I've got some bad news for you, Chief. You read the tales of the past, did you not, traveler? The machine mind that communicates with you was able to read our language to you. So why do you look as though you have fallen into wraithworm nest? He knows about me. That is unexpected. I take it something unexpected happened to you. What? The tower contains a record of our histories. Much as the Xerox would like to refute it, they would never intentionally destroy such a repository of knowledge, as it may still be of use if war resumes again. What can I tell you, Chief? They blew in a wall to get in and took out one of the consoles and everything behind it. The red one, I think. By the time I reached the tower, they'd already landed a safe distance and were making their way on foot to the tower. The knowledge is backed up, so as long as the other consoles are undamaged, then it can be repaired. I can tell that what you're thinking, that someone here told the Xerox patrols where to find you, aren't you? Not to put it too a fine point on it, Chief, but yes. It shames me to admit that you are probably right, traveler. I can even understand why they did it. You see, 4 years ago, when the ships of your people crashed on a planet, several villagers were caught in the fires caused by the flaming debris that rained down across the planet. I ordered my people to go and put out the fires of our settlements and those of our neighbors, then to aid any survivors from your people's ships. To my sorrow, when they tried to help your people, they mistook us as the Xerox and our aid for an attack. We lost many people that night. Several of the young hunters lost friends and family members and have held a grudge since then. After I sent you to the tower to learn our ways and language to prove you were not an enemy, several of the hunters came to me and demanded that I render you no aid, that instead I should contact our Xerox jailers and trade the information for supplies or weapons. Naturally, I refused. I would be a poor leader to lend any assistance to Xerox who enforce these conditions upon us. Unfortunately, it seems the youngsters did not like my answers to their demands. Now it seems that they may have done something unforgivable. These conditions, I never did find out how the talent ended up this way. What happened to the hunters now? Let's see what the conditions are, huh? Ah, yes, that. It's not a terribly long story and happened long ago before my time, but if you're willing to listen to an old chieftain prattle on about the past, I'll be glad to indulge you. If only the youngsters had the patience to learn their history, maybe this tragic situation wouldn't have happened. Following the defeat of the Legacy and their forced dormancy, the Xerox, who had suffered the greatest or possibly only losses in the war, saw us talent centralized within the safety of the Federation's home systems, far from the front lines as cowards and not fit to rule. Suspicions and discrimination escalated. Wild theories of us orchestrated the Xerox demise at the hands of the Legacy and became common, and xenophobia reigned supreme until it all came to a head. The houses of Xerox united behind a single ruler, an emperor, and forcefully and violently ended the Telexian Federation. The survivors from the Purge were herded in onto hundreds of planets across the galaxy, some to work as slaves, others forced into primitive conditions like us, kept from technological proficiency by an iron rule enforced by our watchers. That's really all there is. Look around you and you will see the truth of the tale, traveler. That's terrible. Why would you not fought back? So what will happen to the hunters? Fighting is the way of the young and foolish. I'm too old to fight and couldn't bear to order my people to their death, and it would be to their deaths. There's no way that bows and arrows can stand against heavy machine guns. We are few and we are weak. As much as it pains me to admit it, we can only endure. Sooner or later, your people will need to stand up and fight. One day they won't remember the past as you do, and then you'll have nothing to fight for. I thank you for your opinion, traveler, but this business is our own. Things will resolve themselves one way or the other. Shall we get back to the matters at hand then? So what now? The youngsters will be apprehended and brought before the tribal council to determine their guilt. Selling out anyone to the Xerox is the highest crime we have, if found guilty. I understand. Is there some way I can help? I believe you may meet the opposition. On the other hand, I believe some of the other hunters may also refuse the order to bring in the youngsters. I would ask you if you are willing to speak to the head of the hunters and tell him to call in the hunters at my request. You will likely find the leader of the hunters at one of the village watchtowers. I'll see what I can do. If I recall correctly, the older hunter was the one by the watchtower when we came in. Okay. That's a merchant. That's a hunter. The show on my thing that says like, hey, hunter over here. No, it says hunter, hunter. And that guy's a hunter too. They say by one of the watchtowers, so this guy keep looking here, I guess. Warrior. Also a hunter. Warrior. Maybe this guy over here. Warning. It will greatly lower. Here we go. So you are the Terran that the chief has vouched for. I'm not impressed. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here because the chief wants you to bring in the young hunters that are suspected of selling me out to the Xerox. No member of my hunters would dare sell out any one of those treacherous Xerox thugs. You dare accuse my kinsmen of making deals with their kind? I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just here to make sure you follow through on the chief's orders. My people have no reason to flee your false accusation, Terran. It is past time for the hunting parties to return with their kills for the day anyway. Most of the groups have returned to the village and are either preparing their dinner or reporting to Chief Natak. And how many have not returned yet? And is it normal for them to take this long? Hold your question, Terran. I know what it is you are getting at. And I assure you, there is no way that the group that has not returned would have betrayed the village as you suspect. They may simply be delayed by a large catch or have traveled further to find prey. They may be in trouble. What can I tell you? What can you tell me about this missing group, or tell me where they're meant to be, and I'll look for them myself. They are exceptional hunters despite their youth. I expect that Kiev among them to one day succeed me when I retire. Geem and Torma are likewise expected to take positions in leadership. It's unthinkable that they would betray the village. While it is true that some of them are troubled, Kiev's more than most, they all have bright futures in the village. Why is Kiev more troubled than most? The boy lost his father when your people's ship crashed in the forest years in the past. He has had problems adjusting to the loss of his father. Nothing the shaman or myself couldn't deal with. It's just... So there's an angry teenager out there with a grudge against my people. Still so sure he's innocent? I do not know. I will wait a while longer before I go to the chief. I cannot be sure. Just tell me where they usually hunt. If he's innocent, he'll come back with me. He leads the group. If he's anywhere, it will be near the monument where we go to honor and remember the dead. It is one of the oldest structures on the planet and a place he chooses to hunt near. Why would he choose to hunt near there? He once told me that he can feel his father's presence there, that his father guides his arrows so long as he is near it. I felt it to be cruel to disabuse him in his beliefs, so I allow him to continue hunting there as long as he continues to bring in prey, which he does. Then that's where I'll start looking for his group. You can keep waiting here, but I can't wait around another dropship full of soldiers to turn up. All right, so that looks like what we need to do is do that. So what I'm thinking is I need to return back to the ship, and I need to get some more ammo just in case we get into another firefight with Xerox, because I don't have any ammo, and I don't think I could fend off another wave of those guys. So I think this is probably where we're going to end our adventures for today. To let you know, I am currently on the server that is called HWS 99.9% of something. And my current faction here is called the Dark Sky Legions. And so you can come over, you can click to apply for the to join my legion. And if you happen to be on, you can come and join me. I always enjoy having people come along and then fight alongside me. That'd be great. I want to thank Dark Sky patrons and channel members for the support to the channel. I really appreciate having you guys here. And smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so, and hit that like button if you're enjoying the content so far. I really appreciate it, and it helps other people find my content and to be able to view the content as well. So yeah, make sure you smash that like. I really appreciate that. Comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think of this game so far. I really enjoy this game. This is like a super fun game, except for this guy just making all this noise over here. Hit that the join button so that you can also become a member of my channel, the Dark Sky channel. Be able to join in on other games other than this one here. Whenever I do live streams or I just do the videos like this, just be a lot of fun to have other people around. I hope to see you on our next one. You take care now, and bye-bye.